Hello, we are on day 2 of this Go Live challenge. That's not what it's called, but that's what I'm calling it now. And today I'm going to tell you my origin story. So how I got here, that was the challenge today. So when I was about 12, my dad was a bartender, and I would try and stay awake on the couch because he'd work till like 2 or 3 in the morning, and so I'd try and stay awake just waiting for him. And inevitably I would not. I would fall asleep. And then he'd come home, the dogs bark, and I'd be like, blah! I was awake the whole time, and he'd be like, uh-huh. And he would bring home chicken fingers and fries and this like peach slush drink from the bar. It was non-alcoholic. It was the greatest thing. And we'd sit up at night, and he would just tell me the stories of being at the bar that night, which to me at 12 years old was the greatest thing. I just loved that. I lived for those nights. So not surprisingly, when I grew up, I wanted to own a bar. I thought this was the life. I get to stay up all night. I get to have these crazy stories. Like, yeah, why would I not want to do this? So my first step in doing that was to take hotel and restaurant management. So I did. I went, and as part of that program, I had to take accounting. And I was not a stranger to accounting exactly. It kind of runs in my family. But this was the first time that I really tried to understand it for myself. And at first, I didn't get it. It was hard, and like all these debits and credits, and like, why is income a credit? Like, isn't a negative a bad thing? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. But I had this teacher who was a biker before he was a teacher, and I don't know how he got this job, but he was so good. And so all of his examples would be like, okay, so we're throwing this party, and we're gonna charge for entrance, but we need to like make it fun, you know? So we need some like entertainment, and we need some booze, and like, how much does weed go for these days? Do you guys know? Okay, so we have all these costs, and now we need to know how much we're going to charge for our tickets. Now we want to make a 20% profit, so what do we need? Our venue's this big, and it just, the way that he taught and the way that he structured his examples were so interesting to me. And so I stuck with it, and I just like put my brain to it, and by the end of the semester it was like, ding, like, this is the greatest thing. A light bulb went off, and I finally got it, and all the pieces fell into place, and it was like, this is what I need to be doing. I need to be doing accounting. I'm not sure how many people that happens to, but I was one of them. So good. So by the end of the diploma, I finished the diploma because, you know, I had to, but I realized very quickly I didn't want to be doing hotel and restaurant management necessarily. I wanted to be doing accounting. Like, how do I do that? So it took a couple years of just sort of living life and whatever, but then I went back to school. I got a business degree, and I applied to go to the CPA program. So I got in, I got a job, I got through the designation, which is way easier to say than to actually do. But I did it. I got through it. It was a year and a half of school, and then, you know, another couple years of working for a big company, but I did it. And I got to the end, and it was like, this is great. I'm working, I'm playing volleyball, I'm just like living my life. And it very quickly became like, cool, just living my life now. Like, now what do I do? And at that time, an acquaintance of mine emailed me. He's like, hey, Caitlin, I hope you don't mind, but I Googled you, and you're an accountant, right? I need your help. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, sure. What can I do for you? And he said, no, I just incorporated this company, and like, I have a job, but I'm doing this on the side, and like, can you take on the accounting for this little company for me? And I was like, yes, please. That sounds amazing. so I did. And I got to work with this owner. It was just kind of the two of us doing this. And I really got to see the impact that my expertise had for him. And it was a life changer. It was like, man, I can do this on the side. I get to feel like I have purpose and I'm like impacting people, but I also get to have this super sweet corporate job where, you know, if I don't have that many clients on the one hand, then whatever, no big deal. Yeah, so I started doing YouTube videos to extend my reach because I wanted to be able to help people, but I also didn't want to take on too many clients because I did have that regular job. So I started doing YouTube videos, which you can see still if you want. I'll post the link in the commenty things. And I had an accountant comment on one of my YouTube videos, and it was mean, like really mean. Like, and I get the YouTube comments are usually nasty, like people aren't very nice. But this was my first experience with that, and it was hurtful. Like, holy crap. He was writing things like your voice is annoying, and you shouldn't be playing guitar in accounting videos, and like you're just a financial analyst, you're only a CPA, you're not a real accountant, you're not a CA in public practice, which, side note, he would have had to Google me to know, so that's scary. And so it really was like, oh, ow. And at the end of all of that, he says, I wonder why you're doing this because you don't have a registered accounting firm. I was like, oh, what is that? I was aware that I would not be able to go into audit because I had done my designation hours in a company and not in public practice, but I didn't understand what public practice really meant, like what the nuanced meaning of that was. And so I thought, okay, I'll just register. Like, how hard is that? No, that was not a thing. I called CPA Alberta. I was in Alberta at the time. I called CPA Alberta and I said, hey guys, like I'm just helping my friends. I'm not really doing it. Like, it's not really a business for me. They're like, no, that's not allowed. You have to register. It's like, crap. Well, like I can't register. Like, what if I'm just doing it for free? And they're like, nope, sorry. I was like, okay, well, what is public practice then? They're like, you can't even do your sister's personal taxes for free because that's technically public practice. You can't teach, you can't advise people, you can't help people with your education. Like, good work putting that effort in, but now you can only help yourself, basically. And I was floored by this. I could not get my head around this idea that I had gone through all this school and now couldn't help people with it. Like, and so I expressed to them, like, listen, I do the global consolidated financial statements for like a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, I can help this one guy who it's just him and his corporation. And they're like, no, sorry. And I was devastated. Just like, I considered giving up my letters. I literally just gotten them, but I thought that's not worth it. I don't want to be a part of this if I can't help people. And if I don't have letters, I'm not governed by CPA Alberta, so I can do whatever I want. And my partner suggested that maybe that was not the best route to go, that was an aggressive solution to this problem. And so he did a bunch of research. And he found out that CPA Ontario has different rules. So I could go to Ontario and I could just register my accounting firm the minute I got there and I could start helping people. I can't do audit, I can't do review engagements, which is not something I want to be doing, but I can help that one person operation with their accounting. And that's what I wanted to be doing. So my partner and I chatted and we're like, how committed are we to this? Like, are we gonna give up everything in Calgary, give up my good job, like everything to just go and start a business in a city we've never been to where we don't know anyone? Adventure time? Adventure time. So we sold everything that we couldn't pack into our little hatchback. It was a little Honda Fit. And we drove to Ontario. And so now we live in Ottawa. We set up shop here, found a place to live, and I started a company, which, you know, first time I've ever done that. And oh my goodness, the learning, I have learned so many things, sales, marketing, like how do you tell people what you do? How do you even know what you offer? How do you like price stuff? Like, I don't know. So I had to learn all of that. And it's been a roller coaster. It's been a lot of ups and downs, and it's, you know, it was a year ago that we did that. And now I have 25 recurring clients, and I just love it. People tell me that they're able to sleep during tax time now because they're not afraid of the CRA. I've had clients cry on the phone with me because they never thought they were going to get out from underneath the debt that they owed to the CRA, and now they're debt free. Like, that is exactly what I wanted to be doing. Just helping people with the stuff that I happen to be good at. And it's, you know, the best part of that is that the number of people that I reach, they're all small business owners. And if I can help all of them, then those people then go on to help their customers too. And they get to help them at a much higher level because they're not worried about their accounting and bookkeeping and, oh my God, am I going to be able to pay the CRA, and like what's going on in my company, and like I have cash in the bank but it always feels like I don't have enough. And so just relieving that stress for small business owners, they're able to then go and impact other people. So it's been totally worth it. I feel like my journey is just beginning, but man, am I excited to see what happens.